Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
Just loving you.
9:03. Man, oh man, it's a Wednesday to say the least. CJ Nasello, it's our daily show. Right here on RiverBender.com, Roku TV, anywhere, everywhere you get this show. Thanks for tuning in. I'm just going to be honest. I think me power washing the house last week and got me sick. I'm just going to throw that out there today. I'm going to text Lacy and see if she can join us by Zoom. We're going to have an all Zoom show today because I don't want to get anybody sick. We're going to be talking to Dr. Linda Hopper. She's an author that just wrote a really good book. She'll join us in about 15 minutes' time. And then Lacy might join us at 10 o'clock, or we might reschedule the day. And then at 10:35, we're going to be talking to Jerseyville Middle School. They have a really great Thanksgiving Day program coming down the pipeline that I want to make sure that we all kind of get to know about. A really great initiative from the Jerseyville School District yet again. We'll take you to top of the hour news now at 9:04, and we'll take you right to Alton first. The young youth football team from Alton, the Renegades, known for their impressive performance last season, had another one, capped off a remarkable season by winning the King of the Hill tournament, finishing with an undefeated record of 11-0. These 7-year-old players exhibited exceptional skill and teamwork to win the competition, giving the fans hope for the future. Head coach Bradley Chavors II praised the team's dedication and hard work during practices. Standout players like quarterback Bradley and running back Asante have drawn attention for their performances. As they prepare to transition to the Renegades fully next year, coaches and parents are optimistic about the young athletes' future in the sport of football. Congratulations to all of you guys. Aaron Kilpatrick, who once felt directionless after high school, has embraced his role as the principal of Parkside Primary School in Bethalto. After serving in the U.S. Navy, he found inspiration to pursue education, as he has done since, and dedicated his career to helping students succeed. Kilpatrick emphasizes the importance of community and support, often sharing his own story with students who feel uncertain about their future. At Parkside, he fosters a positive environment throughout the daily morning meetings and includes mindfulness exercises in the Parkside Pledge. Grateful for his journey, Kilpatrick proudly calls Bethalto home, cherishing his role in shaping young lives. Also in the news today, during a recent city council meeting, 2 Wood River police officers received recognition for their service. This is always great to talk about. Chris Barnes, who was sworn in as a new patrol officer, expressed his commitment to the department until he retires. And Officer Brian Brown was promoted to the rank of sergeant, also taking the oath for his new position. Both officers received applause from attendees and congratulations from the department. The department emphasized their gratitude for having such dedicated individuals to protect their city. A full recording of the Wood River City Council meeting is available for those interested in the proceedings at RiverBender.com/video. This is really great news to hear. Mississippi Valley Christian School, they were just on a couple of weeks ago on the show, is excited to announce a generous $20,000 donation to support the ongoing Fund the 50th campaign. How great is this? This remarkable contribution marks a significant milestone as the school celebrates 50 years of excellence in Christian education. Launched to honor its half-century legacy, the initiative ensures that MVCS remains a beacon of Christ-centered education in the community. Tim Lee, administrator of the school, expressed deep gratitude for the gift, emphasizing that it represents an investment in students' lives and in future leadership. The donation will help advance key projects, inviting others to contribute to that Fund the 50th campaign. Cameo Holland, the city treasurer of Alton, has announced her decision not to seek re-election after 7 years of service. In a heartfelt message to the citizens, she expressed gratitude for their support and reflected on the challenges and rewards of her role. Holland cited a decline in collaborative governance and personal considerations as a key factor influencing her decision. As a new parent, she emphasized the importance of leading by example and fostering family values. She acknowledged her staff and mentors for their support and wished the incoming administration success while hoping she fulfilled her duties with integrity. And congratulations to Cameo Holland on a good career as the city treasurer, and best of luck from all of us here at RiverBender.com in your next endeavor. Godfrey and Alton have officially embraced the holiday spirit as local organizations. Pride Incorporated adorned the Welcome to Godfrey and Welcome to Alton signs along the Benjamin Godfrey Mansion with festive garland, wreaths, and with some lights. Pat Stewart, president of Pride Inc., emphasized the collaborative effort that brought this project to life, thanking various local organizations for their contributions. On November the 19th, community leaders gathered at the mansion to celebrate the lighting of the decorations. Stewart expressed gratitude for their support received, highlighting the heartwarming spirit of collaboration within community. For more information, prideincorporated.org. Races are shaping up in the city of Alton as the consolidated election approaches. Candidates are intensifying their campaigns ahead of April 1st, with petition filing deadline already passed. Several contested races have emerged, including a competitive three-way race between David Goins, Brent Walker, and Ray Strable. The city clerk position has also seen a contested race, with incumbent Cheryl Engel facing deputy city clerk Lauren Wilson. Additionally, 7 wards are experiencing competition, while some positions like treasurer and Ward 7 alderman and Ward 1 alderperson have candidates running unopposed at this time. More details will follow as the election date nears. You can see that full write-up on RiverBender.com/news. Mojo's Music in Edwardsville, located at 144 North Main Street, offers holiday discounts through Christmas Eve. Alongside personalized customer service year-round, owner Tom Poland emphasized an interactive approach to assist both aspiring and experienced musicians with a wide range of instruments, accessories, repair services, and lessons. The holiday season features this really special deal. Customers at Mojo Music can select any guitar or bass along with 3 accessories and enjoy a 17% discount on the entire bundle. That's really cool. Poland aims to build long-term relationships with customers, ensuring that they find the right products at competitive prices while shopping local and providing exceptional service. The village of Glen Carbon is set to host its inaugural Heritage Winter Market at the Glen Carbon Heritage Museum Saturday, November the 30th. From 5 to 8 p.m., the festive event will feature shopping, food, drinks, caroling, and complimentary horse carriage rides. That's great. Marking the start of the holiday season for all those in the village. Attendees can enjoy offerings from local vendors and food trucks, with the community tree lighting ceremony scheduled for 6 p.m. that evening. The market encourages supporting small business on Small Business Saturday, providing that perfect opportunity for holiday shopping with family and friends, and, of course, enjoying that kickoff to your Christmas season. That's a look at what's happening around the River Bend. We got through that one. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. I think I hung in there on the delivery. 47 degrees in downtown Alton. It feels like 48 out there. Hey, today, windy and cooler with times of clouds and sun. And tonight, mainly clear and breezy. Humidity at 75%. And, well, the dew point's at 39 degrees. The air quality today is good at 24, but mold is still high at 26,000. So take a Claritin or take care of your mold allergy if you're struggling today. Temperatures will reach 53 degrees today and drop down to 32 degrees as we head into Thursday. On Thursday, a high of 41, a low of 36 degrees. And on Friday, a high of 47, a low of 33. On Saturday, a high of 50, a low of 38 degrees. And on Sunday, a high of 63, a low of 47. So, looks like we're getting some warmer temperatures by Sunday. Hopefully Monday brings us some mid-60s too. That'd be nice. And then take us into Thanksgiving weekend. Looking really good. Hey, you guys can stay up to date real time all the time in weather by going to RiverBender.com /weather. You can also call 618-465-4545. That's the time and temperature line. You can also sign up for your daily email alerts and your breaking news alerts. That breaking news alert notification on your phone will also alert you to weather conditions and alerts when they happen. I know we're still a couple of weeks out, maybe a month and a half out from, that extreme winter weather pattern that we're kind of used to seeing. But always good to be prepared and in the know for that. There is one final bit of news for you today, officially submitted now to RiverBender.com. This was submitted to us and just posted 33 minutes ago. We did just give you the consolidated election for Alton story, but Mayor Goins has officially announced his candidacy for the second term as Alton mayor. With the election set for April the 1st, Mayor Goins is eager to build on the achievements of his first term, which has been defined by progress in public safety, financial stability, infrastructure development, and economic growth. That was just ran on our site. It's live now on RiverBender.com. But Mayor David Goins has officially announced his bid for re-election for the mayor's seat in the city of Alton. We'll have more for you as the 2025 consolidated election starts heating on up. All righty, while I have you, who should we talk about today? I never really ask you guys what we should talk about when it comes to sponsors, but always interested to hear what you got to say. Let me fill you in on these guys right over here, Village Dispensary. They're the best. Look at this. It is Waxy Wednesday, and you see that right on the screen. 30% off Nevada disposable pens, half grammars, dosable experience, and having some fun. Plus, now you see that buy one, get one free from Mosey. That's a great product, too. You got a pop-up that's happening today from 3 to 6 p.m. at Village Dispensary. There's so much happening. Just take a look at their website. Listen, there's a reason that, I'm just going to say, Village Dispensary makes every stoner that you've come to love in your 80s, movies like, Matthew McConaughey and Fast Times, Cheech and Chong, whatever you want to throw at me. They're making them jealous because at Village Dispensary, it's not just the fact that, they have the encyclopedia of cannabis products that could help you with your medical needs, or if you're just a regular recreational consumer, they're there for you too. It's not just the products, it's the atmosphere. It's the atmosphere of going in and having that kind of Cheers experience without being in a bar where those bud tenders, they get to know your name, they get to know what your interests are, what you're looking for in products, and they're there to help you make the best experience possible at Village Dispensary. You can stop by anytime they're open. That's, of course, you can't go when they're closed. Or you can place your order online and pick it up whenever. It doesn't matter if you're new to cannabis. Guess what? They got that consultation area. They'll pop you right off to the side, and they'll take care of you and ask any questions you have. They'll take care of it and make sure that you're comfortable with your cannabis purchase. And if you're an experienced user, maybe you just have some questions about new accessories, new products, things coming down the pipeline. They're for you too at Village Dispensary, villagedispo.com. Don't forget to tell them that you know who sent you over their way because, as always, it's a joint effort. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back with Dr. Linda Hopper right after this. We'll learn more about her book, but first, downtown Alton.
Don't you cry no more.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh-made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Get paid to go solar.
We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call Grid when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
See how Sean can help you today. You are listening to Our Daily Show with CJ DeSoto on RiverBender.com. Here we go. Wednesday morning keeps rolling around the corner. This cold's getting to me. Getting ready for a fantastic conversation with Dr. Linda Hopper, and really excited to fill you guys in on this book, Coaching in the Classroom, a guide for empowering students and teachers. Dr. Hopper, good morning. Happy Wednesday to you in downtown Alton.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for joining us. And now, where are you located in?
I'm in Springfield, Illinois.
Really cool. And now, with that being said, I got an email about your book and started reading through it a little bit and learning more about it. Let's take us right through it, an overview for our audience, if you could.
Sure. Basically, it's about bringing coaching into the classroom. I mean, I had a lot of clients when I was coaching asking me, you know, why don't they do this in school? This would have helped a lot if I was, younger when I learned a lot of this. And so I went into the classroom. That was a second career for me to see how I could implement coaching into a classroom. And over the years, I had several experiences doing teaching AVID classes. I was able to incorporate in that. I did some leadership advisories and after school and things like that. But my goal was always to figure out how to bring it so every single teacher could do it in their classroom. And the model that I used is based on self-reflection. and self-awareness. Because really at this age, when I was working with clients, they're adults who are coming to me with a lot of experience. They have a lot of knowledge. They know where they want to go. Maybe they're stuck in getting there. But when you're dealing with high school students, especially I taught freshmen and sophomores,
God love
they
you.
don't have that experience.
Right. When I wanted to ask about that too, because it seems like now with this, we talk about it all the time here on this show with medical experts and with mental health experts, about the social media influence and this kind of false reality that high school students are living in. And with coaching and bringing this type of instruction into a classroom, and I'm no expert in this, but it just, kind of my thought is, could you really help maybe, or could teachers help bring kind of that just sense of grounding back to that student, regardless of whatever avenue they're in?
Exactly. And that's my point. I mean, we have social emotional learning in schools, which is basically emotional intelligence. And this is the thing that kind of kills me. I mean, we're spending our time teaching to a test so that students are prepared for college, and I get that. But there's so much more that they need to be prepared for, and part of that is understanding who they are.
Right, and there's no test for that.
And what their strengths are. We don't focus on that. In fact, we do the opposite.
Right. Well, and that's such a great point, because there is no test for who, CJ Nasello is as a human being that you could take or I could take. And just like that high school student that's going through life changes and they got all of these external and internal factors that are hitting them, how is the learning now? Is it really just not there yet, do you think, for all of the children, really, that it's too templated, it's too rubric for maybe a mass audience instead of maybe tailored to that individual student? That
100%.
Wow.
I mean, that's part of my complaint. And I mean, do you have children, CJ?
No, not yet.
No. Okay. Well, when you look at a young child, and I have a granddaughter, and you look at how she learns, it's through, and I don't know how you learn, but I go down rabbit holes.
Oh, me too. It's bad. Yep.
I mean, that's how you learn. You get an interest and you follow it. And like my daughter-in-law said to me, she said, geometry didn't make sense to me until I started quilting. But we don't provide those opportunities for students to really apply that learning. And I think what coaching does is it helps students identify, first of all, that you're not like everybody else. You don't need to be like everybody else. You just need to worry about you and how do you take care of yourself. So if you're stressed, what are some options that you can use to de-stress? I mean, we don't really afford opportunities for doing that in school. And this allows teachers just to shift your focus a little bit to individual personalized learning, because every person can only take care of themselves. I mean, I can't decide for you what's important to you or what you find beautiful or what your goals are. Every person has to take responsibility for their own personal growth.
And really, to follow up on that, you mentioned something, and we're talking a little bit about that teacher mindset too, and that relationship between students. And I want to talk more about the empowerment model and get into that here in a second. But, one thing that always sticks out to me, and I think the conversation is starting to become a more and more prevalent one, is that, teachers are, right now currently very underpaid, and they're going through the stresses that every one of those kids' parents are probably going through or have a relative that's going through something. And how important is it for the teacher to be mindful, but also to be taking care of their own, mental health and all of those important factors, before we can manage a classroom? Because it seems like once you lose self-management skills, you lose the ability to manage or maybe help care for that child.
Exactly. And that's why this is in coaching is a co-learning experience. Okay. So it's as a coach, I'm also evaluating myself in this process. And I often used things that I felt like I needed, like meditation. And we should be teaching students how to use meditation. We should be using methods that help calm them down before taking a test, or when they're in extreme. I mean, we just don't do that. We don't allow that. We don't allow students to find out what their strengths and then use those strengths in school. And sometimes it's not academic. Sometimes it's different, or sometimes it's very nuanced. And so helping students understand that we're all here in our school. We all have our own lessons we have to learn. We all come here with our own strengths and our own experiences. And so everybody's different, you know, and get people to feel good about that.
Absolutely. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe earlier you were talking about a story with your granddaughter about quilting. And I wanted to ask you.
Not my granddaughter. That was my daughter-in-law with the quilting.
Well, it was such a great point, though, because so many people prepare differently and we manage stress differently. And, you know, how important do you think it would be to have more of a lot bigger conversation? You're not on our daily show or not on Riverbender, but on like an actual platform with true leaders that could make that change, because it seems like, you know, students are being taught how to fit in this kind of machine mode of, here's the questions that you need to prepare for, here's just the material we'll see on Tuesday for your test, when really that's not how life is. You know, when you have taxes due and you can't pay your bill, you aren't just sitting there looking at your computer, you're out trying to work, or you're trying to manage your stress and make it possible.
Exactly. And CJ, if you think about it, 40% of our students don't go to college.
Wow.
So what do we have for them?
Right.
What do we have for them? What do they feel like they're getting out of it? There's no motivation there. I just was reading the other day about the report card that came out from my school district in Springfield, and we have a 42% absenteeism rate.
Whoa.
That means 5,400 kids did not go to school for 17 or more days. And I'm wondering, if 40% of our students don't go to college, is there a correlation there?
That's
true. Are we not meeting their needs? And I don't think we are. We're not giving them enough. I personally feel every child should go, and of course I'm biased because I taught business, but should go through something similar to the work program, where you learn how to buy a car and what it takes to rent and finances and how to take care of yourself. I mean, those are practical skills, but we also we know so much more in science now than we did before. For example, everything is energy. Everything is energy. So if we're energy, what thoughts are you projecting out there?
Well, and
we can change that. We can change that.
Well, and it's such it's a conversation that's happening here in the Madison County area of Illinois, big time. And you know, you have rural schools like in Jerseyville School District that are using more of an agricultural kind of element to it with this new technology to keep kids engaged. But also, I was in a program 7 years ago called the CEO program, and it was about running a business, and you know, I created a business with it and all that. But to me, it wasn't really a business class. It was exactly what you're talking about, because in life you need to be able to communicate with people, and not just have the "Hey, what's up" conversation, but have, you know, intellectual conversations and being able to talk about things that are a little bit touchy, you know, or maybe things that are more, you know, kind of business-like. We need to be prepared for those. And I think that with this model, or with what people could pick up out of this book, I think that a lot of it could kind of start melding into that, where it's more of just, we have X, Y, and Z to obtain because of the state's guidelines, and we got to get to these tests, but we really don't have to get to it in such an A to B to C to D way.
Exactly. I think that we need to provide more options for students to really explore their strengths, first of all, and second of all, to really build their own inner personal integrity about who they are. You know, if you don't start with that, I give the example in the book, my son. Well, first of all, I have a son who didn't graduate from high school. He dropped out. And my second son decided his senior year of high school that he was going to do pre-med.
Oh.
Now, this is a child who's never shown any interest ever in medicine, but wanted to go for the money. But, you know, that's where I feel like coaching can help. I mean, that's not your strength. That's not your interest. That's not where you want to go. And of course, he got a full ride scholarship and ended up struggling and losing the scholarship because it wasn't. And then he's got to go back to school. We're not really preparing. I mean, I remember asking students and saying, what are you going to do after graduation? And it's like deer in the headlights, They're
Right.
like, I don't know. Because they don't have all they're being offered is college. That's it. And college is great. I mean, I'm a Ph.D., right?
Right.
But that's not for everybody. That's not for everybody. And like my son, who dropped out of high school, is actually, he went back, got his GED. He went into construction, which, but whatever. And got his GED, got his certification in computer science. He's now an IT director for a satellite company in San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
Without a high school education. I mean, and he's not the kind that can sit down in a seat for, 7 hours a day and just progress through this model of keeping everybody on the same. That's not the learner he is.
Absolutely.
But he's successful. And my other son is too. But we have to allow students to find their own way and to say it's okay. See, that's the other thing. I think we're so worried about failure that we don't promote resilience.
Right. I mean, who wants to post the picture on Facebook that says my business closed, or I just foreclosed on my house?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really it's not taking pride in it, but it's saying, it seems like at times we only post when we're smiling, and we only post the for social recognition when things are going good. But on the flip side of it, if you just say, hey man, this has just been a rough couple of weeks here, hopefully things get better, you don't realize that people actually do care. And once kids do, just from what I've experienced and kind of the consultant stuff that I've done with business for younger people, is that it really empowers them to realize that failure is literally okay. And all of these famous and successful people failed all the time. It's just a matter of timing.
Exactly. And we don't allow the opportunity for students to learn from that and grow from it. And that's where I think teachers are natural coaches. They have the relationship. And newsflash, teachers did not get into the business or into education to teach to a test.
Right. Now
they came to inspire students, to help them reach their full potential. That's why it's such a perfect match for coaching.
What do you how do you feel about the incentive grade now that we're just on the topic of getting the full package? Because I've always been fascinated by this, and I have a college professor in the family, and it just it seems like the model is a very interesting model to look at in terms of just studies and correlations. But do you believe in an incentivized way of not necessarily rewarding students for not doing the work, but but getting better from maybe previous tests, maybe from previous things that we're learning? If it's all put back together in the same test, does an incentive work like that?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
So,
I think what you're asking. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I'm asking here is, let's just say you're teaching geometry again, and your next test is a little bit of geometry and a little bit of an add-on of geometry, because I'm not a math person. So let's just say geometry 2. It's a mix of 1 and 2. But the student A has a terrible time preparing for it. They're trying all that they can. 65%. All of a sudden we're out of the chute on a bad, kind of run. Then the next test, though, they're like, what? Let's see if I can really hone this in. They're preparing, they're studying more on their old tests, they're learning the new stuff. They get an 80%. Do you think an incentive to maybe say, hey, you learned that material again, it took you a little bit longer, but you got it right on this test, let's give you an incentive grade there. Let's curve that up and let's kind of balance it out. Does that work?
I guess it would work. I mean, I think those types of situations depend on the buy-in, probably depends on the agreements. I mean, I think you run into issues with parents. I mean, that's always the case.
Right.
But I do think we have to come up with something different because our kids aren't motivated.
When it seems like
they're not motivated for a test, really.
Right. And it seems like once they maybe get a bad grade on one, that's the end of it mentally for them. It's a disconnect that they are never going to repair that year.
Well, and if you keep telling students year after year after year, you're not meeting standards, you need remediation, you're weak in this area. I mean, those are all disempowering words.
Right.
We don't focus on the empowerment, which is what's missing.
And that's what I wanted to touch on too, is that empowerment cycle, because I think that is our model, because I think that is so important to touch on if we can lead into that.
Yes, yes. And I'll just say, like, if you have a student who's been hearing, I'm not making standards, I'm not, am I substandard?
Right.
I mean, isn't that what's being communicated? We really need to change our language and help students feel good about where they're progressing. And that's where the empowerment model comes in, because it gives students don't feel like they have a lot of control.
Right.
Okay. This gives them control. You have control over you. You have control over what you're learning, and you're learning 24/7. So what is it you're learning about yourself? What strategies, perspectives, or abilities can you learn to help you be successful in life? Not just in school, but in life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the coaching, the empowerment model comes in, because it says, look, you have strengths, you have different things that you can do to help yourself for your own well-being, and people you can go to and things you can do. That's taking control, because we can't control what happens outside of us.
Right.
We can't.
Right.
The only thing we have control over is ourselves. So, and as a teacher, I'm the same thing. I'm looking at a student and I'm saying, why does this student irritate me so much? What is it about me?
Right.
That creates that.
Well, and that's what I think is so cool about this empowerment model, because I was going through some of the other highlights of your book, and it all ties into that model, because, empowerment and mentality is really leads into so much of stress and time management and all these important aspects of our lives, because if you're feeling down in the dumps and all of a sudden you're still working and more things are getting dumped on top of you, you're not going to be able to manage it. You're going to be stressed out even more so than when you were. And, take me through, now that you've been able to write this book and you have your coaching and teaching experience, what have you learned since then? After writing the book, has it given you a period for yourself to reflect and just observe others and see if it's capturing what you inputted into this piece?
Yes. And I think there's so much overwhelm right now in the education system.
Oh, for sure.
And it's really hard to get that piece across. In fact, I had one teacher say to me, Linda, this is all really good, but we have so many issues we have to take care of in school first before we can do this.
I get you.
But the problem is that this gets at a lot of those issues.
Right. I was getting ready to say that. It seems like if you tackle this one, then those ones that are kind of looming big, 10-year, 15-year problems, they're going to subside.
Right. Exactly. And I think if you have more than one person, if you have a group of people that are teachers or people in a building, it doesn't even have to be teachers, but who are using empowering language, who are pointing out strengths to students, who are saying it's okay to fail, and what can you do to help yourself? Can you use positive affirmations? Can you use visualization? We've got so much information. Science is telling us what we can do to help ourselves in these areas. We know that our thoughts create a lot of our world and our perception of the world, And so if I've got thinking that's not helping me, how can I change it? What can I do? And that's where I think teachers can help. You give them a smorgasbord, but you let them choose. They are the ones who are empowered to do it. And if they don't want to, they don't want to.
Well, before we get into the final part of this, I got to ask you about maybe a relationship or a conversation, because, there's teachers that I have had, and I was a freshman when I was in 4th grade and 3rd grade that I remember and still talk to in the grocery store and all of that. Was there a student that maybe changed your perspective, or if not changed, highlighted and maybe multiplied your thoughts on this, topic alone about coaching?
Yeah. Well, I've got a lot of stories like that. But the first one that comes to mind is a student who I had in middle school. And he was feeling very bad about himself. The team had gone and won state in basketball, and he was part of that team. But many of his, comrades, I guess, or teammates were looking at high schools that would position them to play in college. And he just didn't feel like he was good enough to do that. He didn't know what to do with his life. He was totally lost, and he was despairing. And was sitting in my class after the class one day after school. And so I started talking to him, and I said, but what about your other gifts and talents? I mean, you're not just a basketball player. And he really didn't know what I was talking about. Wow. He had no clue. Wow. And this is a kid who was very sensitive. He was a good listener. He had all of his friends who would come and talk to him and listen to, and he would listen to them, and he was very empathetic, and he had just a lot of good advice because he listened, and those are skills and gifts that he didn't even recognize in himself. I had another student. She was a very good student. She came up to me and she says, I don't know what career. I'm interested in a lot of things, so I don't know what career to follow. I don't know where to go. And I said, well, why don't you make a list of all your strengths and then try to match them and see what are the good fits, right? So she came up with this list and she showed it to me. The one thing that I thought she was brilliant at, she didn't have on there. And that's that for a very top student in the school who comes from a great family, she never saw differences in people ever. She would talk to someone, help someone. It didn't matter. She treated everyone the same, with the same kind regard, with the same, what a gift, what a strength, but she didn't see that in herself. And sometimes our gifts, we don't, and notice how we don't talk about it. I'll tell you that talking about strengths was one of the hardest things in my classroom.
Oh, I bet. 100%. Yeah.
Because we're real good about telling what's bad about ourselves.
It's true.
But if somebody says, oh, I really like how I managed that talk today, it almost sounds like you're conceited.
Right.
We don't acknowledge strengths.
Right.
And we are quick to acknowledge all the ways that we're short, that we come up short. And that was hard with kids because they had a really hard time expressing those things. And I think we need to do more of that.
100%.
And one of the things I went through with the kids to help them to be more discerning about that is, okay, if someone is bragging or being conceited, how do you know the difference?
That's true.
And they can tell the difference. You can tell the difference. Somebody's trying to feel better than you.
That's true. That's true.
Right? Or
That's true.
Or if they're not, then they're quick to point out something you're good at it. If I'm just talking about a strength that I have, I'm also going to be acknowledging your strengths.
Right.
So I just think that we don't give enough encouragement, motivation, inspiration, positivity to students to help them succeed. We tell them, oh, you're weak in this area, you're not making in this, so you need to be better in this. If you want to go to a good school, you have to do this. But then we don't say all the ways that they're succeeding at that.
100.
We tend to focus on what is not working.
Well, and Dr. Hopper, thank you so much for your time. I know I told you 15 minutes, right? I had it on there for 15, but I had to keep talking to you because it's such an important such an important conversation. And now, what's the best way for folks in our area? We're going to do a write-up on RiverBender.com and an article too. What's the best way for us to get a hands on this piece?
You can get the book from Barnes & Noble, from Amazon, from Balboa Press, which is the publisher. So it's available in a lot of places. I have a website, Ph.D.com. I will be having some trainings that will be coming up in the spring next year. And I'm available to talk to teachers anytime, any place.
In the start of 2025, we'll have to get you back on the show because I'd love to hear more about your training opportunities, because I'm sure that there's teachers that watch this show and superintendents that do too that love to learn more about ways that they could maybe help themselves in the classroom.
That's awesome. Yes, I would be happy to. I get passionate about it. I'm very excited.
It's great.
I mean, I think that this is, there are teachers who are going to take this and run with it and be so much better than I ever was at it. And I'm looking forward to that.
And that's the whole point of this. And I just think that's what's so cool. And Linda Hopper, Ph.D., thank you so much for your time. We'll link everything on our write-up on RiverBender.com. At 9:48, we'll take a quick pause here. More Daily Show in the Heart of the 618 continues right after these quick messages.
You're invited to this year's Christmas concert at River Church. There are 4 amazing performances for you to choose from. All of heaven's coming down, fill the earth with a sound of the name. Come and see why so many people make this a part of their yearly Christmas tradition.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof, because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. Which is good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Dibs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Welcome back to our Daily Show. Here's CJ. Welcome back. A Daily Show hitting you on this Wednesday. And we were going to talk to Lacy McDonald. I don't want to get her. I think I just got a cold, but I don't want to pass it to anybody. So we're going to reschedule Lacy for either Friday or we'll talk again next Wednesday. But hopefully on Friday. It's just I'd rather take a day and just kind of relax here because, man, my lungs are on fire right now, boy. Let me tell you. 9:52. Let me do this. Coming down the pipeline, on December the 8th. It's called You've Got a Friend, a great concert. And we just talked to Nick and Harvey, and they're wonderful people. And Nick's got a really great not-for-profit that I want you to learn about in St. Louis, where they're bringing urban farming to children and taking them camping. It's such a cool thing. So let me do this for you now. We'll come back at 10:30 with Jerseyville Middle School, but first, this great conversation. Welcome back. Sorry, Daily Show hitting you right here at 9:19. Harvey, welcome in.
Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So, really excited. We were just chatting it up a little bit. Before we even talk about the concert, happy retirement, Harvey.
Well, thank you. It's about time.
Well, honestly, I've always heard every retired person I've had come on the show, they say really being retired means you just work for free.
Yes, you're exactly right. I anticipate I'll be much busier in 2025 than I ever have been.
Really cool. Well, Harvey, you and I were talking on the phone a couple of days ago, and That's What Friends Are For is a really cool concert coming up December the 8th to raise money for 2 not-for-profit organizations. But the story of really how this came together and just hearing a little bit of it is so fascinating. And where do we start?
Wherever you want to. It's your show.
You were talking about your grandpa, and really I think that's where we start this, because really when we get to where the concert is now and how this all developed, I think there's no better way than starting with the backstory. So fill me in on your grandfather a little bit and the reason leading up to this event.
Great. My grandpa Rader was born in 1891. He came over here at the age of 5 with his mother from Baden-Baden, Germany. Speaking, of course, no English. They came across the boat on steerage and came in through Ellis Island. They met his father, who had come several years earlier to Lima, Ohio, to buy farmland. So Grandpa moved there, and in the 5th grade dropped out of school to work full-time on the farm with his dad. Over time period, he developed his own farm business and became quite successful in that. But his earliest memories were of standing in their farmhouse in Lima, Ohio, watching the Ku Klux Klan burn crosses in their yard because they were German.
Wow.
And then as Grandpa started his own farm business and grew it, he hired an African-American from Lima. Jacob, too, had Ku Klux Klan crosses burned in his yard because he was black. So he hired Jacob. Jacob wanted to start his own business but couldn't get banking or funding to do that, and it was not safe. So my grandpa said he would fund the startup business, but that Jacob's name couldn't be on it publicly or face. So my grandpa and his brother Matthew took Jacob's business plan. At the time, you could buy or lease individual oil pumping wells in Findlay, Ohio area because Standard Oil didn't have the huge refineries that they had. Mm-hmm. So Jacob's plan was to lease a number of these and convert them into moneymakers. My grandpa liked his business plan. Even though Grandpa left school in the 5th grade, he was a very fine businessman, very good with math. So they sat down together, they drew up informal paperwork, and so Black and White Oil was started, and the people in Lima thought black was for crude oil.
Right.
Okay, and so they proceeded. No one knew. It grew and grew, and Jacob reported to work every day as if he were an employee. And then in the late 50s, early 60s, my grandpa, who was then nearly 90, decided to sell his farm to the local school district. So at that time, they learned that he didn't own this oil company, that Jacob did. So Grandpa moved before I was born. He moved into a mobile home behind my parents' house. And that's where really I got to know him because, again, he was 80 when I was born.
Oh, wow.
I'm a long-lived family. His wife had passed years before that, and he had never remarried. So on the living room floor of my grandpa's mobile home, watching the black and white television, he would tell stories, and a number of stories. But this story is just shocked me because we were watching a documentary on World War II, and the story unfolded. So Nick and I met because when I came to Alton, my not-for-profit had leased the old convent on Danforth. My plan was to build an international school there. It fit everything because I've been in education and business for 40 years. And so we were just on the verge of being able to open the Center for the Performing Arts when I had major medical accident, a major concussion, open heart surgery, and had to step back from everything.
Wow.
So Nick was on the planning board of this because of his work in urban agriculture. He was going to come out here and work, and we were going to help him establish an aquaculture and hydroponic facility in the old laundry room. And that way he would have food year-round in North County because right at that point they didn't have that facility.
Right, yeah, totally.
So because his operation there started to train young African Americans in urban agriculture and farming. Many Americans don't realize the number of black farmers that there were. And he works now with a handful, but his not-for-profit is now expanding, and they're raising money for scholarships for students to go through the program because they get paid to work as a part of this.
Right.
And so we stepped in together. I called him. I said, hey, I'm going to retire. We can't revive the school, but what about this? So he said, yep. And he is supposed to be here today, but he's tied up in traffic.
Hey, I get it, man. I had to drive that all day for work for 6 years. It's a nightmare over there. It's a war zone.
And he has 2 kids, dropping him off at daycare. So I hope he appears.
Well, I think it's one of those things where it's just, to hear the backstory, and that story of, you on Grandpa's living room floor, on the trailer watching the black and white television, and now to see you working with an organization that really does fit the need of what your grandpa did, 100 years ago. It's really fat. That's why I wanted you to start with that story because, that's really such the perfect full circle moment, I think,
It hit me as I was preparing for this. I thought, what a great way, to do that because of my grandpa.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, and now December the 8th is the day of the concert.
Right.
What time does it start?
3:00 in the afternoon.
Really cool.
It's at St. Paul's United Methodist Church. Former students, friends, and colleagues from all over the country and actually the world are coming in to perform.
Oh, wow.
Locally, we have Marge Handy from St. Louis. Marge is a gifted singer and actress. She's currently starring in Anastasia at Tesseract Theater, but she's won awards for her film work, gifted jazz singer. She is doing a couple of numbers of this concert, a setting of And So It Goes, with my attorney, who's a jazz pianist, and her, and then she's doing several other pieces.
I heard that that's the best jazz pianist in the area. I heard there's nobody better.
Oh, Randy's amazing.
Well, you got to because he's your attorney. That's why I was really buttering him up there.
Thank you. And he'll appreciate that, too. And then a new friend, Ty Davis from St. Louis, who's a gifted cellist, artist, and also chef.
Wow.
He's going to join us.
Renaissance man.
Really is. He's going to join us in playing a cello piece by Saint-Saëns called The Swan. And then he's going to be the caterer for a private dinner on Friday night for my friends who are coming in out of town. So I've got friends from California, from Wichita, musicians from the area, and we're doing all different kinds of music. You'll hear a setting of How Am I Supposed to Live Without You, reggae style, and a number of things.
Well, and that's what I think is so unique about this event because it ties in a lot of different pieces of not only your life and a little bit of your family story too, and also helping the community. It also is closing the chapter in a way for you, and that's what I think. What better way to call it the retirement concert, even though you're still going to be playing. I know that and all that, but but for all your career, the book's closing.
Well, and I wouldn't have done this except last Christmas I had a stroke in my right eye.
Yeah.
And began to go blind, and now I'm completely blind in that eye.
Wow.
So reading a piano score is a challenge. So I thought, well, now's a good time to move on to other things. So
What are your thoughts right now as you're kind of heading into this? Is there any bittersweetness to it, or is it just kind of just more anticipation than anything else and excitement?
It's joy to have had a career that I never intended to have.
Mm-hmm.
I went into music and not ever going to teach. My parents said they would not pay for a degree unless I had a teaching license. But I went to my advisor and I said, I'm not getting a teaching degree. How do I appease my parents? So I got my bachelor's in music, and they took enough classes in those days to get certified, and then had a horrible student teaching experience in Toledo, Ohio. I mean, just god awful.
What can I ask how? Was it like that movie with Chaffetz where it was like high in high school?
Oh, no, it was even worse.
No way.
Because I think the guy they assigned me to was high in the classroom.
Oh, no.
So I walked in, and it was chaos. I mean, just chaos. And he's sitting reading the newspaper, and I introduced myself. Oh, he said, yeah, I forgot you were coming. He handed me his books, his keys, and said, I'll see you in 16 weeks.
No way.
I'm serious. And you need to know, I came out of the womb direct. So I said, oh, heavens, no. Here are your keys. Here's your book. I'm out of here. Went back to my advisor, who said, Harvey, this is 1976. We don't have any place to put you, because the teaching profession was packed at that time.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I said, you owe me. I said, I came here 3 years ago. I'm the first person to ever get this degree in 3 years. You owe me. Well, Jim was my height, about 5'2", and I said, come on, from one short guy to another. He laughed, and he found me Van Wert, Ohio, and a man named L.W. Schaufelberger. L.W. Schaufelberger and him were classmates in college and fraternity brothers. Mm-hmm. So LW said, I'll take him. I don't want to, but I'll take him. So I walk into this huge high school, and I had 55 people in my graduating class.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I walked into Van Wert High School, and there were 400 people in the senior class.
Yeah.
So I walked in. LW was professional. He would sat with me and said, I'll have you start here. And he said, you'll never direct the top choirs, but I'll give you the beginning choirs, and we'll be okay. Well, he learned I played the piano, and he and I began to hit it off. And I sat down because they had a staff pianist who was sick, and I sat down and played it. And he went, oh, you're a really good musician. I said, thank you. He said, I didn't know a thing about you. Jim just said I owed him a favor, and I did. And so that 16-week period transformed me.
Yeah.
LW was a gifted teacher. So as we went along, he said, well, I'm going to give you a piece to do with the advanced choir and then the sophomore choir. And I learned how to get along with kids, to be in charge, but to be friends. So the sophomore choir there was the love of my life. But my last day there, they were preparing for graduation, and they opened the school theme song, and I was to direct it, and they set me up. Mr. Middleton was there. It was my final observation. I gave the downbeat, and they sang, "Oh, leprechaun, we love you so, but we sure wish that you would grow." And I just fell out. So from there, I went, I got to do this. And that took me down that trajectory.
So before we bring Nick into the studio, because he's just made it down here, before we do that, I got to ask you, actually, we'll take a quick break, but when we come back, I want you to think about this. How has teaching evolved throughout the years? Because you guys have something that's so important here. And hey, Nick, hold on one second here. Hold on one second here. This is what I want you to ponder. Is how has teaching evolved through the years, but also how has it been important for you, and how have you been able to keep students engaged with all the changes to music in the industries too? Okay, let's think about that. 9:32, more conversations hit you next.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof, because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Divs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Then that time I went and said goodbye. Now I'm back and not ashamed to cry. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Here I am, baby. Oh, you got the future in your
Welcome back. 9:35. That's what friends are for. The benefit concert on December the 8th. Nick made it across the pond there. How was the war zone that's 367?
You know what? It was a little traffic, but, you know, I'm glad to be here.
So I'm really excited to have you here, too. Fill me in on your non-for-profit, because we were talking, Harvey and I were, man, and this is really cool.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So, Ujima is the nonprofit. Our mission is to cultivate community through food justice, environmental stewardship, and youth empowerment. And so we manage an urban farm in North City, and then we also have a teen program called the Sunflower Institute. We pay teenagers and young adults $20 an hour to work with us, and we engage them in the urban farm, and then we also take them on camping trips, we go on float trips, and then we engage them in professional development, but then we also do mental health support to support them and their families as well.
That's really cool. And you know, I always, the last couple of years with having all these not-for-profits on the show and talking about different organizations, there's always such a need really for just what you guys are doing, getting kids outside and learning about these very important, you know, not only life skills, but also ways that we can critically think in other aspects of our lives and really benefit from it. And, you know, over in North County, what I thought was really cool, too, about a year ago, I went over and seeing some of the really great hiking areas, too, that are in some of the portions that you would drive by and never think of being really great areas. How long has this been in operation? Yeah, so the Urban Farm has been around since November of 2021, but the nonprofit, we started officially in 2018. And now take me through some of the reaction from the Urban Farm. Yeah, so it's been great. We've gotten a lot of support from neighbors. We've hosted quarterly neighborhood cleanups with organizations like Earth Day 365, and we've been able to clean up over 10,000 pounds of trash in North City. Wow. Since, since we had the farm. So that's incredible. And, you know, to me, though, it does even more than you know, all of what you've listed. It teaches a sense of community pride, too, and that loving where you live aspect of it all. And what are some of the takeaways that some of the kids that you work with, have in their experiences, from these community projects and down to just, some of the entertainment events that you guys put on?
Yeah, so we've gotten a lot of great feedback from the young adults and the teens that we work with. And so they're really inspired by working with us because they see professionals that look like them in various arenas, whether it be agriculture, culinary arts, conservation. And so a lot of times you don't know what's out there. And so there are a lot of opportunities, like through our partnership with the Missouri Department of Conservation. There are jobs that exist in their realm that I didn't know about. And so to be able to expose them to staff and those type of outdoor education activities, I think is really cool. And so it really opens up the opportunities that are available to them.
Well, and now take me to George Washington Carver Farm. I see this on your website. Is this still looking to grow?
Yeah. So we currently have a house and a half-acre. I'm really proud because my grandmother has actually lived in this community for over 40 years.
Oh, wow.
And so to have this opportunity to be about change and community in that space is really special. And so, we have the opportunity to expand. We have vacant properties surrounding the urban farm. And so we have the ability to purchase some more land next year, so I'm really excited about that.
Let me play this video.
Welcome to George Washington Carver Farms. This community hub will honor the Missouri legend who transformed the way we grow food in America.
We've had enough of this nonsense.
We will be restoring abandoned and unsafe land. The trees and plants we sow improve the air and soil quality. Our native garden will create a rich and vibrant habitat for pollinators. Our progress will create a sustainable green space. We are committed to restoring our neighborhood and combating illegal dumping. Help us continue our mission of cultivating community through food justice, environmental stewardship, and youth empowerment. Check out ujimastl.com to donate, find volunteer opportunities, and learn more about the first phase of George Washington Carver Farms. In the words of George Washington Carver, where there's no vision, there's no hope.
How about that? A+. I
appreciate that.
I saw the website and I wanted to do a little bit more on this because this is what the funds of this benefit concert are going to start going towards too. And how can we volunteer, Nick? How can we sign up, or even just, with the end of the year coming up and the end of the quarter, that beautiful fourth quarter, that means that there are some last minute deductions that need to be made. And 501c3?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Tax deductible. There's the sales pitch for you. How can we help, and how can we sign up and be a part of your growing organization?
Yeah, so if folks want to come out and visit us, you're more than welcome. On Saturdays, we have volunteer shifts from 10 a.m. to noon. And then folks are always welcome to donate. You can donate and sign up for volunteers on our website. You can reach out. We're on social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the things. So you can definitely reach out to us that way. We're going to do a happy hour for Giving Tuesday, which is November the 26th. So yeah, plenty of ways to tap in and support.
Well, and on your website, there's a couple of staggering statistics. 1 in 6 children in the state of Missouri struggle with food insecurity and the food deserts that are in the state, but also 865,000 plus residents in Missouri don't know where their next meal is coming from. And now, what's the end goal for the organization? What's that final place look like for you where you're envisioning, you've reached that mountaintop and you've really achieved that final mission? What is that mission for you?
That's a good question. So the big dream is for us to be the Eckert's Farm of North City.
Wow.
So to take agriculture and scale it up to add agritourism. They have a restaurant. They have a cidery. They have multiple opportunities year round for folks to support, on top of the amazing fruit that you can get from there as well. And so I want to do something similar, but then also have the education components and continue to scale up the Sunflower Institute and the way that we show up for young people.
Well, and that's what I wanted to dive into. Good. He has like a crystal ball over there, Harvey. I'm telling you what. That's incredible.
From the moment I met him, I went, the guy talks better than I do.
So let's go into detail a little bit more on the Sunflower Institute, because I was reading a little bit on it before you came into the studio today, and just reading about the graduates and just that, really just seems like a successful program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're in the young stages of the program. So we started in 2021. And so one thing I was adamant about, we paid them $20 an hour. We wanted to make sure that we invest in them, and part of that is compensation.
Yeah.
So we make sure that they get paid $20 an hour. We also have an occupational therapist that we work with as a consultant, and then we have mental health support staff that can support them on the individual and group basis as well. So those were the non-negotiables, and then we had a farm, so it made sense that we had them work with us. And during the summertime, the busy season, it's great to have those extra hands, but then we also do the camping trips. We visited Onondaga Cave. And so we really do an intentional work about exposing them to the amazing green spaces in Missouri, but then also connecting them with other opportunities once they leave us, whether it be internships or job opportunities.
One of the things that has been such a misconception from youth across the entire St. Louis Metro East is the lack of availability to the what I call the core principles in a young person's life, and that's entertainment and that nuanced feeling of innovation and of culture, and also just finding that real overall experience that incorporates all aspects of life, that family aspect, the going out aspect, but also the educational. And I don't feel like our young people realize the opportunities that are just in the 618 and 314 areas. Mm-hmm. And with your program and organization, I feel like that's a really great way to kind of break down the wall of there's nothing going on here, because in your own backyard, in your farm, I mean, the opportunities just in that couple of acre or whatever, how big it is endless. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of discovering that and realizing how important our own ecosystems are and going camping. Do you see that on the kids' faces too? Is there like a turnaround time from maybe when someone first is in the program to when maybe that clicking happens? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes, absolutely. You definitely see it on a camping trip, because oftentimes they've never been in spent the night in a tent, let alone been on a river for 5 hours on a float trip, going to a cave tour. These are all brand new experiences that they normally don't have access to. And so that and alone, and seeing their faces and realizing the wonders that exist in Missouri, I think is really cool to see, for sure.
Man, this is so cool. Yeah. Harvey, getting back to the December 8th concert, where are we doing this at again?
At St. Paul's United Methodist Church in East Alton.
Really cool.
Yep, exactly.
How many seats are we filling?
400.
Oh, we got this. We got this in the bag.
400, yeah.
And how much are tickets?
Tickets, there's no charge. We are taking free will offerings, and we're going ahead of this with the people that I know and Nick's connections. And what I'm telling my folks is it's $2,500 to fund one scholarship. I already have a donor out there who will match that $2,500 if I raise it. So the approach is, I don't want people to be barred from attending a really great concert who may not have the financial ability to do so, that type of thing. So we're saying, y'all come, we're going to take up a free will donation. But outside of this, I am reaching out to my friends and colleagues and business people to say, here's what's going on. Step up, and I'm guilting him into it.
Well, honestly,
I keep telling him I'm an old man. It's to honor my grandfather. My mother's birthday is the same day. She was a gifted musician, but we're doing it because from the first time I met Nick, I was so impressed because he understands what kids are missing, because kids in education today are bored and they are wrapped into technology, and he's giving them the opportunity to experience and then learn from the experience. And it's phenomenal.
And on top of that, too, it's a real experience, because with this technology, we've had people on the show all the time talking about this false sense of reality that's developed around. And when you get your hands into something that's actually real and you can feel that, you know this better than I do. Why am I telling you this? It's amazing to see this all take place.
Yes.
And so if you're just tuning in, if you have $0 in that bank account or $1 million, you're invited to go for free.
You bet. Exactly.
But if you do have that million flow floating and you want to help send a lot of kids over, we are going to take that happily and call it a good December 8th concert. But before I let both of you go, and this has been a great conversation, so thanks for being a part of it.
Thank you for the invitation.
No, this is great. Nick, I got to ask you, you talked to me during the break about the newer alderwoman coming over and kind of just working with you guys a little bit. The conversations with the elected officials have got to be really positive ones because, especially, when you turn on regional news and every 30 seconds it's like, well, here's another bad thing, bad thing, bad thing, bad thing. Here's how you can help us. Bad thing, bad thing, bad thing. They've got to love the fact that there is somebody investing actively, and there's so many, Nicks out there in St. Louis, but something like this that's very hands-on with the youth, that's really about building that next generation. What do their conversations sound like with you?
So they've all been positive. I remember the first time I met Alderwoman Laura Keyes, it was at a event in which we got awarded. We got a $150,000 grant from Serving Our Communities. So that was really cool. And so
Nick's also a part of my show.
Welcome to the new co-host.
Sorry.
Yes. So at that event, I had never met her in person, and in conversation, she was saying that she's new to this position and she really wanted to have fruit trees in the community. And I was like, we literally have 14 fruit trees right now in our urban farm. And so it was just a really organic, positive conversation. And so she was really excited about the work that we were doing, and the fact that my grandma has been in the community for so long, it just made sense. And so I'm grateful for her support and the community as well.
So before I let you go, that's where I wanted to end on was with your grandma, because being in a neighborhood for 40 years, you see the growth, the highs, the lows of everything. What are her thoughts now, with this development going on back there and all the work that you're doing, just her takeaway on how everything's going?
Yeah, she's really proud. And so while I don't currently live in that community, she always stops by and checks on the farm for me. And just recently, a couple of weeks ago, I dropped off some collard greens. And so she's proud. And I'm a little biased because I'm the first grandbaby. But she loves what I do, and she's always checking in on me. And it's another opportunity for me to go see her. And the fact that I work in her neighborhood is really amazing, too.
That's really cool, man. And Harvey, getting back into this, after it all, you had the medical episodes happen, and to end the I guess music career and all of that in this way, it's got to just be one of the. No wonder you're beaming with joy. Look at all the good you're bringing out. Now, what have your friends and the people you've been calling on the phone been pretty eager to help?
Oh my gosh, jumping in. As a matter of fact, most recently, there's a phenomenal artist, chef, musician in St. Louis named Ty Davis. I watched Ty's artwork, and I actually bought a piece to ship to the Philippines because my son there is opening a restaurant.
Oh, wow.
On one of the islands. And I said, well, I'm shipping you this piece. So as Ty and I were talking, I went in and met him in the Arts District because I wanted to see the rest of his artwork. Well, then I learned that not only is a gifted artist, but he has a cello degree from SIUE, so he's going to come up and play in the concert, but he didn't know anything about what Nick was doing. And I said, you got to get connected to Nick there also. And then he is a phenomenal chef. So he is going to be doing a specialized dinner for my guests on Friday night and the Arts Loft District, so they can see his work, taste his food, and so I can connect him, these two guys together, because that's what the other thing happens. Not-for-profits end up in their own silos because you're always fighting for your own existence.
Right.
So if you can find a way for the not-for-profits to cooperate, if you can introduce to that, to get back to your question, people have been, number one, blown away by his work. Just blown away.
Well, it's just incredible. I mean, I've had a lot of not-for-profits on the show, man. This is really incredible, seriously.
Thank you.
So
and I'm not saying that because you're bigger than me.
Well, that wouldn't be me. Maybe bigger this way.
Well, Harvey, we got a couple of minutes, about 60 seconds left. Give me your sales pitch to That's What Friends Are For. The floor is yours, Senator. Get us there. Sights and sounds, and where are we heading to on December the 8th at what time?
December the 8th at 3 p.m. you will have the opportunity for free to experience phenomenal music, to benefit an outstanding not-for-profit, and to spend an hour and a half that in a time where there is not a lot of hope, great hope is there, and you will see the potential of the future as we head into 2025. You got to come. And if you can't come, more important, you got to send the organization money.
Yes.
Because that is what's needed to keep his vision and growth going. So I'm a lucky man to know him. I'm a lucky man to invite people to this concert. And I'm also lucky to hit people up for money.
Absolutely. Nick, man, my pleasure. What's the best way for folks to stay connected?
Yeah, so you can definitely visit our website, ujimastl.org.
Can you spell that for us?
Yes, UJIMASTL.org. And then we're also under Ujima STL on Instagram and Facebook. So yes, you can find us on those platforms as well.
And you can also go to otherpeopleskids.org, and it's there on my not-for-profit site.
Oh, really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll link everything in a write-up on RiverBender.com. Before we take a quick break, all right, you know the deal. Queen of Junk. Your junk is their business. You know, in St. Louis, Nick, I'm sure there's some properties that got to get all that stuff out of that. You know, I was driving around. I'm not trying to pick on anybody, but some of you got hot tubs and things that are laying around since the first Bush administration. It's sad. You got to call the Queen of Junk. You know, for 30 years, she's been the Queen of Junk, and she took on the big guys. She decided that this year she is going to be, or last year she was going to be the trash provider for the area, taking on literally the big companies because they don't care.
No.
You know, you call and then they go, well, we're going to expedite your claim and we're going to call it a day. What she does is she answers the phone. Isn't that wild? Like the business owner answers it.
Yeah.
Now her purple and yellow trash cans are popping up and mating like bunny rabbits. It's crazy to see all the work. Go to sparksjunkremoval.net, reclaim your space today, and start your journey with the Queen of Junk, now the Queen of Trash, today.
Looking
for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off dog walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Dibs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit villagedispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
And I wonder why the little things you find they coming true. Oh, telephone line, give me some time. I'm living in twilight.
fact, hey, while I have you, let me tell you about something real quick. In about 3 minutes, a lot of you, quite few of you, are going to get an email from me. And it'll be about this. Next year, we're changing things up with this show. As you can see, the last couple of months, we've been trying some new stuff, and we're getting there. But we need some partners to be able to do a little bit more. And our daily show is changing the way we're doing advertising next year. We're looking for true partners for a year. Join me on the ride. You'll join the hundreds of thousands a month that tune in, plus the millions throughout the year that watch on demand, and you'll be a true partner in the community. This sponsorship opportunity not only gives you the front and center of this show, you're on everything, literally. Look at this. Let's just scroll through some of the things you get. Amazing. Look at all that value. But you also are able to say that you're doing this to provide an opportunity for us, me, more of the RiverBender.com team to do more community events that might not have the budget to bring me out there. So in a couple of minutes, you're going to get this email, and 9,000 of you will eventually get this email in about a week's time, and we're going to get there. The goal's 15, and I need 15 true partners for the next 2025 year. Let's get through this together, and let's have some fun, because I'm telling you what, once you join the show, you're going to realize that you're creating a community. I'm not the star of the show. I'm just merely the moderator, kind of along for the ride, buckled in. You guys are the stars of the show, and you have a chance to join me like Grid Solar, Alton Little Theater, like all the other great segments we do on this show, Hainer Library, all the past ones we did like Food for Thought, the VFW, real estate, all that available to you. All you got to do is give me a call, 618-465-9850, extension 228. Love to talk with you. Learn how we can partner. Today, I'm excited. Excited about bringing all these new businesses in, but most importantly, I'm excited for my next guest. You know, yesterday I learned a little bit more about Community Thanksgiving, and Principal Eaglehoff joins us in the Zoom now. Busy day on a Wednesday, huh?
Yes, definitely in the middle school.
So fill me in on this. Community Thanksgiving, what's it all about?
So the Community Thanksgiving started originally just with an idea that my brother had and my family embraced, and some of our friends and family in the community. We just feel so abundantly blessed and want to reach out and support our community and love on people and help people in need, but also just create a space for people who maybe don't have a big family or a close family to gather with, and know that nobody has to be alone on this holiday.
Well, when I was reading a little bit more about this yesterday, that's what really was so great to know about, because for a long time it seemed like the only places that were open during the holidays were maybe the bar or some other place that you could go that's more of an adult theme. But to really have this family and community centered approach, take me through just your experience being and what it's like to see that come together.
It's been really incredible. We get to experience part of it that other people who support the mission don't get to, and it's the stories of people who would maybe otherwise be alone, or maybe are in need, or going through a hard time. Recently, I talked to a young lady from Jerseyville who said she spent the last few Thanksgivings alone, eating chicken and green beans out of a can, and she's just really excited to get to experience, the traditional Thanksgiving meal, and it is all, fully cooked and prepared just like my mom would at home.
That's awesome. And now, how did this all come together? What's the development of this event look like?
So really it, it just started with that initial idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's my brother, sister-in-law, myself, and my mom are kind of the lead organizers, and we have some Facebook fingers out there and reach out to other community organizations. Fielden Church is allowing us to use their hall for the week because it's several days of prep that we put in
I bet.
at a time. And, my church has been very supportive. We've made some flyers and gotten the word out. There are 3 big ways that we are reaching people. And that is whole family meals that are cooked and ready to go. We have several families scheduled to come and pick those up on Thanksgiving Day. And we have a delivery option, and people, just friends and family in the community, or people who've heard about it who want to help, are helping deliver those meals. And then we really want to take this opportunity to reach more people to join us on that day. We think it might be about 100 people, which I know some people might be uncomfortable with, but it is set up just like a family experience with the table set and decorations. And then another cool thing, just a way to reach someone in need. We have a cash prize drawing for people who come and join us.
There we go. How much are we winning?
Well, last year, the winner won $500.
Oh, man. I'm in.
Yeah. So this year, we're hoping to do that as well. But just, that we've received a lot of generosity. And so, we may have an opportunity to give another cash prize drawing. And we're also giving away the TV that we're going to use that day to watch the football game.
Really cool. Well, and how long have you all been doing this?
So this is our third year having a community Thanksgiving, and it's grown each year. It was a big success last year, and this year we've already seen that it's going to be even bigger and reach more people.
Well, and with that being said, is there a head count that you all need? I'm guessing to prepare, the food. Do people, prospective individuals that know maybe, hey, I'm maybe an empty nester now. I don't have my family here with me this year. Is there a registration for them?
That's a great question. So anybody who needs a delivery or a family meal, today is the last day to sign up for that. And, the contact information for my sister-in-law and brother are on the flyers that they can reach out and schedule those. Today's the last day just so we can have a count.
Right.
As far as joining us in person, we haven't asked this year specifically for people to RSVP, but we do really appreciate it.
Oh, I'm sure.
So if they, can reach out to any of us to let us know, it's going to help with count. We have an idea of who we're expecting and kind of a brainstorm of how many more we're hoping are going to come, and it didn't tell us.
Well, and now what are those conversations like with the folks that are at the Thanksgiving dinner? Take me through some of that, and just, I'm sure their opportunity to talk to folks and maybe in a friendly manner isn't as apparent and maybe as fluent as maybe someone else like me or you has. What's their opportunity like, really, just to have that conversation and camaraderie?
It's been really beautiful. And, I want to make sure people understand along with that people from all different walks of life will be there.
Yeah.
There's business members from the community who just don't have family locally to gather with. There are people who just maybe can't afford it this year and want to come and be a part of the celebration. And it's, last year I remember, just looking around and seeing, I have a pretty big family and they'll all be there, and their nature is just to kind of wrap people up in their arms and welcome them. And so just seeing the different groups of people mix and chatting and sharing stories and traditions and getting to know each other has been really beautiful.
Well, and that's really what I was getting at, because it doesn't matter where your financial status is or what happened, in your personal life. Whenever, sometimes you just have, the situation where it's time to go to a community event. And that's why I think it's great that you guys are providing this, because just your business owners and the walks of life that are coming through there, it's just incredible. I mean, truly incredible, because that's what a family really is. And now, have you guys kind of almost just considered this your extended family at this point, 3 years in?
Yep, it absolutely is.
And now, what time does it start on? Is it on Thanksgiving?
Yes, it's on Thanksgiving, which that was really important to us. I know there are lots of really incredible other programs out there that support people on other days, but we wanted this to be on the day of, so that everybody had a place to go on that day. And it starts at 1 p.m. if you're dining in with us. It's in Fielden. Fielden UCC has what they call a family life center, which is just this beautiful gathering space. We'll have lunch about 1:00, but they can come early and snack on some hors d'oeuvres with us. There'll be kids games. And if the weather's good, we're hoping to play a little football out in the yard. We usually watch the parade and watch a little bit of football, depending on what people want to do. We especially love when kids come because, of course, I want to be around kids, and my kids love getting to know other kids and play with them.
Well, and I wanted to ask you too, you were talking a little bit about the church, closing down shop for a little bit for you guys to prepare for a couple of days. How much food do you prepare?
That my mom can answer that better. But just some things I know. I think we're looking at like 20 or 22 turkeys this year.
Wow.
And
that's a lot of turkey.
Yeah. And just about everything you can imagine that would go with, 22 turkeys worth of food. We're going to do the traditional mashed potatoes, homemade dressing, green bean casserole, sweet potatoes, homemade gravy. Sunday we'll be baking cookies. We've got pies going out. And, just everything you would expect to have at a traditional Thanksgiving.
Is there one dish that you guys hold above the others as being, the Eagle Hoff or the family dish?
Well, I will say, my mom's Patty Fanning, and everybody who knows her knows she's a great cook, but her homemade dressing is definitely what we all come for.
See, now that's a good one because dressing, I'm a big snob. I mean, if it's even remotely dry or if it's too wet, either or, it's on site. You know what I'm saying? You can't mess up the dressing. Now, if you had to rate it on a box of 10, if your mom watches this later on, what would you rate it?
Well, it's 100% a 10.
Good answer. Okay. Yeah. And now getting into this too, do you think your position at the middle school has helped grow this event? Do you talk to the school families about you guys doing this, or is this completely separate from your day to day? That'd be fascinating to know.
I mean, I would say it's separate. Although, last year there was a family that I was really close with through our work together, and we ended up with an extra family meal because one of the families who had arranged to pick up one from us was surprised with one from some other organization. And so they called and said, hey, is there somebody else who could benefit from this meal we've ordered? And, I knew of this family who might be in need, and I called that mom, and she was working that day. And I took it to the boys, and they had some friends over, and they all helped me unload everything. And we're just so excited. And so, yes, it certainly gives me an opportunity to connect and kind of know people's circumstances.
But that's so cool, though. I mean, just that experience. And do you ever get a moment, like, is it hard for you guys to look back on this afterwards and think about those moments like that? Because those are kind of priceless moments that you're going to remember for a while. I'm sure that those children will, too.
Yeah, absolutely. That we just get constant reminders of why we do this. The person who won the prize last year, his story was very touching. And, we just have a lot of trust in God that he's going to send who he wants to be there and who needs to experience our love. And maybe they have a need that we're meeting or just the connection. So, that's what drives this, of course.
Absolutely. And now, with that being said, we're a couple of days out. It's wild to think that already. Can businesses support this, or is this something that you guys do within yourselves and use your own funds for? Or can the community at large say, hey, next year, let's make this even bigger. Here's a $5,000 check.
Well, sure. We'll take a $5,000 check. So, it is an act of generosity that we all are contributing to, of course, personally, but we have had a tremendous amount of support.
Oh, have you? Really cool.
From Jersey community and Calhoun community, people who've reached out with, they'll buy something off our list. They'll make a pie. They'll bring some potatoes. They'll, we've had donations from $20 to $300.
Wow.
And, and some of those have been just individuals who believe in the mission or businesses who want to support something.
Now, I remember you saying, too, that your mom's the cook, but who is she the general when it comes to the preparation of this? Because I feel like it has to be like almost a militarized fashion in order to get all this food done.
Oh, yes, absolutely. She's got a very strict plan, and we've got some people coming to help. We've got a big family, and there'll be lots of hands in the kitchen, and we've got some friends and family who want to come and donate their time. But it's got to be an organized process, otherwise it could be a little chaotic.
There you go. And before I let you go, let's go over the event again and the time that we can be there and be a part of it. This is going to be at St. John's and Fielding, correct?
No, it's Fielding United Church of Christ.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at another church in front of me. I'm sorry. I got a couple of church events going on and I picked the wrong one. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's at Fielding UCC, which is on First and Bridge in Fielding. It's at the dine-in option, which we would love for more individuals or families to join us that day, is at 1 p.m. If you need a carry out or would like a whole family meal, we'd love it if you would give a call today or send somebody a message so that we know that. If you're interested in supporting the mission, we'd greatly appreciate any donations, or if you want to do a little shopping, we have a meeting scheduled on Friday to kind of go over final details, and then I'll be taking a trip to Sam's to get everything we need.
There you go. Thank you so much for your time. I hope this goes well. And thank you for letting us talk about it on the show, too. I hope more families know about this in case, or individuals learn about this in case, this could fit what they're looking for in the holiday season, and keep up the great work.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This has been an incredible opportunity to chat with you. And I just, hope people know that there's no reason to be alone on the holiday, and we want to make them feel like they're a part of our family on this special day.
100%. At 10:48, we'll link everything in an article on RiverBender.com. We'll take a quick break, come back, wrap up the Wednesday that was right after this, right here on Roku TV.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof, because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, Free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Just as good even when closed your eyes. I
Welcome back. Daily Show hitting you on this Wednesday morning. Alrighty. So all you deer hunters out there, where's my jerky? Okay, now that that's done. Hunters across Illinois are preparing for the upcoming firearms season. IDNR is urging them to use safety harnesses when hunting from tree stands in the field. Tree stands are the #1 source of hunting-related accidents, along with fatalities in Illinois. And it makes sense. The 2024 firearm deer season opens in just 2 days, November the 22nd through the 24th, and it will run December 5th through the 8th. Our top priority is ensuring hunters return home safe and unharmed after every hunt, said Jed Whitechurch, the director of the IDNR's Office of Law Enforcement. We want hunters to enjoy themselves and be successful in the field, but safety must be at the top of all minds. So far, during the 2024, let me get my chair seated over here. Hold on here. I'm having all types of problems today. So far, during the 2024 fall hunting season, which includes archery deer season, Illinois Conservation Police have documented one hunting-related fatality on the 10th of November. A man hunting in Wayne County fell from a tree stand after he apparently nodded off taking a nap in that stand. He was not wearing a safety harness. The man airlifted to a nearby hospital where he later died. The tree stand falls, often from heights 20 to 30 feet in the air, can cause significant injuries, including broken bones, spinal damage, paralysis, concussions, organ injuries, internal bleeding, sprains, cuts, and bruises. Most of these injuries are preventable with a fall arrest system, avoiding drug and alcohol use and making sure the tree stand equipment is in good working order. Most tree stands accidents can be avoided by using a functional and trustworthy fall arrest system and thoroughly examining every tree stand component prior to use, said Whitechurch. He continues, consequences of falling from a tree stand can have a lasting impact on hunters and their loved ones. The Illinois Conservation Police strongly emphasize prioritizing safety in all hunting endeavors. The Conservation Police have reported 5 recent falls where hunters were falling anywhere from 15 to 10 to 20 feet off in the air, falling to the ground. And now here's the tree stand related fatalities in previous tree stand falls in previous years. Last year there were 17 reported falls from a tree stand, 3 of which were fatal. And that's very much almost doubled and then some from 2022, where there were 6 reported falls. And tree stand safety tips, well, they include the following. Using a fall arrest system that could include a harness and follow the manufacturer's guidelines that come with it. Inspect the tree stand for wear and tear before each use. Use a haul line to bring up unloaded firearms, bows, and other hunting equipment. Take your cell phone. Tell a friend or loved one where you intend to hunt and when you intend to return, and avoid drug or alcohol use before and or during your hunting session. And that's just something from the IDNR, but really good information for all the area hunters just to, take note of. You know what I've come to notice, though, and I'm being dead serious? Every hunter I know is so responsible, personally that I know. I'm not talking about every hunter that I've heard of or know, but like all of my friends that are hunters are very responsible when it comes to the hunting stuff, with harnesses and safety. It's pretty amazing how prepared they are. I mean, if something were to happen, like today I'm on the air and let's just say Armageddon happens, I personally would not stand a snowball's chance in hell of not only survival, but also just thriving the 5 minutes back up to my house. I think there'd be a nightmare happening. And it's amazing, though, because it's just that mindset, I guess, of hunters, just that preparedness. And you never know what to expect. And I don't know, it's just fun to see everybody I know getting ready for their prospective hunting season, whichever it is, and just seeing how they prepare for it, too. All righty. Man, that was about as much energy as I had all day, and now my throat is on fire. I'm not doing that again. In 2024, climate crisis mounted an overwhelming toll on people in Missouri and the United States. And the climate crisis, meaning severe storms and weather patterns, hurricanes, tornadoes, flooding. They relied on the American Red Cross for relief and care as they faced in Missouri the country's second highest number of billion-dollar disasters ever recorded. This year's 24 major weather events, each with losses exceeding $1 billion, are topped only by last year's record-breaking 28. To help, over 2,800 Red Cross volunteers from Missouri and Arkansas have been a part of teams responding nonstop to provide shelter, food, and other assistance to the tens of thousands of people reeling from this year's hurricanes, storms, floods, and wildfires, all while continuing to care for families that are still recovering from 2023's disasters. And that's almost 2 years ago. This Giving Tuesday and holiday season, you can visit redcross.org to make a financial donation, or better yet, schedule an appointment to give blood. Blood is crucial right now. Individuals can also give the gift of time through volunteerism. Nationally, the scope of disasters increased this year's demand for necessities like food and emergency lodging, which both exceeded the annual average for the past 5 years. In fact, this year, more than 7 million meals and snacks served by Red Cross volunteers nearly tripled that average. That is just staggering. This year, the Red Cross of Greater St. Louis addressed people's urgent needs in other ways, too. Over 3,400 blood drives were hosted in the Greater St. Louis chapter. Millions of donors nationwide, including hundreds of thousands in the St. Louis area. They provided life-saving training, with emergency rooms experiencing a spike in heat illness visits amid the country's extreme temperatures. Red Cross empowered millions, including over 23,000 in the Greater St. Louis chapter. And this year, with vital first aid, CPR, and AED skills to help them prevent and respond to heat stroke and heat exhaustion. Through their 24/7 Global Hero Care Network, local Red Cross families supported military members, veterans, and their families in the Greater St. Louis chapter through over 1,830 services, such as connecting deployed service members and loved ones during family emergencies. This also included answering thousands of calls from military families affected by this year's hurricane, including Helene and Milton, connecting them with military aid societies to facilitate recovery assistance. And just a little bit about the Red Cross before I hit this music. I'm out of time, but I'll see you back here live at 9 for more of our daily show tomorrow. Until then, just try your best to stay out of jail.